Now before we stop this first really beginner lesson, I'm going to show you some practice techniques. These are practice techniques that I use. I don't know if I invented them, but I'm a former basketball and baseball softball coach, and I a lot of times think of the way I practice guitar in terms of doing drills and repeating things. And so I'm going to show you kind of the same way. One drill that I like to teach my students for learning chords is simply the on and off drill, which I showed you, but then another one which I call switcheroo or switch up. Hank Ballard and the Midnighters had a song called Do the Switcheroo back in the 50s or 60s. So what you do is you try to switch chords, go between chords. So let's say you've got your E chord, which we've learned so far, A chord, and then we've got our B seventh. So what we want to try to do is see if we can switch chords and get the hand in the right place quickly without mistakes. So what I would say to start is to do it without picking and just try to switch the chords. This is something you can do when you're just sitting on the couch, watching TV, drinking your coffee, doing whatever, watching a ball game. This is a way to practice guitar without making noise. You can just practice your finger positions. So let's start out. We'll go from E, and then let's switch to A. And then can you switch back to E again? Switch to A, and just go back and forth. Same chords. E, A, E, A. And just see if you can switch the chords without even picking them. Just practicing them. Then throw in the B seventh. Let's go from E to B seventh. E, whoops, to B seventh. And then let's go from A to B seventh. A to B seventh. Just make up random combinations. It doesn't matter right now. Try them all in a row. E, A, B seventh. Do that again. Or go reverse. B seventh to A to E. And you just keep doing this over and over again, and after a while you will feel comfortable with switching the chords. Now once you feel pretty good about that, start strumming and making sure that when you switch the chords you're also getting a good sound. So let's try it with sound this time. E, A, E, A, E, A. Now let's go A, B seventh, B seventh, A, E, E, B seventh, A, E, and just do that. And over and over again until you feel like you can do this quickly and accurately and you get a good sound. And when you can do that, then you're knowing, hey, I'm learning these chords. Now as far as the right hand goes and the picking, we'll talk more about that as we get into some specific songs. But again, when you're just starting out, I would use the flat pick. Some people pick with their bare fingers, fingernails. Some people use plastic finger picks, metal finger picks. That's something we'll get into a little bit later. Right now, you're really concentrating on the left hand. And initially, when you start learning guitar, that is the tough part. So you got to start now. You know the guitar, you know the strings and what they should be tuned to. You know the frets. Those will become important later as we start talking about some more complicated stuff. And you have some ideas about making a chord. When you make a chord or put your fingers on the fretboard to form a chord, you got some things you got to keep in mind. You got to have your fingers in the right place. You got to have them on the string properly, and you have to have them in the center of the frets, toward the center as much as possible, not overlapping the frets, or else you'll lose your sound. And then you just need to practice the chords on and off, and then switching from one to the next. And this is the beginning. Now some people get bored with this, I want to start playing solos, and yeah, but I know a lot of guys that learn guitar and they only learn to play little parts of everything. They can never play a whole song. You've probably seen these kind of people before. And you want to learn to play the guitar. You don't want to learn to play some guitar. a little bit. You want to learn to play it. So it's really important that you be patient, you work hard, and don't get frustrated. Again, you're going to suck for a good while, but you'll see, you'll start getting it. And then as you start feeling confident, that'll inspire you to keep learning and getting more stuff. Now when I come back, we'll work with some other chords, on some basic chords. And I'll show you the chords and the basic chord progressions that you'll need to get started playing.